Super Smash Bros. Is a game series that's widely regarded as a broad celebration of the gaming industry as a whole. So to end off this amazing year for gaming, I've decided to make my final video ranking what I believe the best video game in every single Smash Bros. Series is. To accomplish this monumental task, I have garnered the help of some friends from Discord in the form of Crane and Anthony the Bossman, a frequent person I host on this channel. Together, we have all discussed and contemplated what we believe are the best games for every franchise in Smash Bros. We rank our favorites, and then we go on to say what we probably think is the objective best game based off of popularity, sales, and iconicness. So with all that being said, this is a long one, folks. I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy the video as we rank the best game in every Smash series. Alright, first off is the Mario series, probably one of the most iconic gaming franchises of all time, and definitely the flagship series of Nintendo and Smash Bros. Itself. This one's an interesting one, but I'm sure you'll be able to guess obviously what is going to be the pick for this game. It's Mario Odyssey without a doubt. It's like spectacular, the graphics look amazing, the open world gameplay, it's so iconic. The music is amazing in that game. It's just like, it takes the best aspects from every 3D Mario game. What do you have to say on it?
We're talking Mario. It's gotta be New Super Mario Bros. Wii. That was undoubtedly the best fun. I mean, you got the dancing Koopas, you got the good music, you got the good level designs. It introduced a bunch of classic power-ups. The propeller hat, like, I mean, people love that. The penguin suit is, you know, less talked about, but it's like a personal favorite of mine. I mean, I played it with my brother while growing up, you know, and let's see, my mother would play with my older brother, and so, you know, it was fun, you know. I think it's really the best one.
What do you have to say about it, David?
So NSMB Wii is one that I've really wanted to play. I never did have it on my Wii. I had the much superior Mario Wii game, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Which I think has the best level design in any video game ever. Though I will say, I prefer it to Mario Galaxy, but I think they're both like.
I think the first one's a little better. It just feels like Mario Galaxy 1's so iconic. The Mario Galaxy 2 feels a little bit more watered down. Mario Galaxy is also a runner-up for the best Mario game. Anyone have any like interest in RPGs? Like for me, I played Mario Dream Team, which I know people like that's like the black sheep of the franchise, but that was the best Mario and Luigi game I played personally. But how about Mario RPGs? Have y'all played any of them? Like I know Paper Mario. Mario's such a broad series.
I freaking loved the Bowser's Inside Story. Never beat the game.
I never beat it either.
I have twice.
I always got stuck on the carrot minigame or the squid boss.
The carrot,
it was like super fun.
The carrot's what stopped me as a kid, but I've beaten the original DS and the 3DS remake, and I love both of them. I know the remake is kind of pointless, but I did lose my original copy that I let someone borrow and he lost it, so I'm happy it exists.
But yeah, for my favorite Mario game, I had to go with Galaxy. For David, to go with Mario Galaxy 2. And you said for yours, you would go with Super Mario Bros. Wii, Anthony?
Yep.
Alright then. Well, that makes things
all pretty good picks, to be honest.
Yep. Let's move on. The Donkey Kong franchise, another iconic gaming series that was, you know, once an arcade game and now an iconic platformer that's been fairly dead. I actually don't know when the recent Donkey Kong game that came out. But yeah, I had no clue. I've only played Tropical Freeze, and I hear that's the best one that people like.
I'd say Country is probably the best, like the original Donkey Kong Country, and I think
Country Returns.
That one or the
No, just Country,
like the original,
like the SNES.
Oh, so yeah, Donkey Kong Country and the SNES, not Donkey Kong 64.
So the only one I fully played and beat. Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, you can go.
The only one I fully played and beat is the original. So I mean, by default, that I played a few minutes of 64.
The original platformer, or
no, Country.
Okay,
the one you have pulled up right now.
Okay.
I played a few minutes of 64. When I was really young, I played Returns, but I just can't get back into it because it's a workout just to play.
Is it that hard?
almost everything aside from moving and jumping is assigned to shaking your Wii remote.
Are you serious? The Donkey Kong Country
Yes.
Returns. We're talking about Donkey Kong Country.
Yes, on the Wii. There is a 3DS port that I am a little interested in trying.
Whoa, a 3DS Donkey Kong? I actually never heard that.
And then also Tropical Freeze, I've heard is the best one.
Yeah,
so that's one I also want to play just because.
Constantly on the bestseller, so I mean, I hope it is. Oh, Donkey Kong Country Returns is a 3DS game. Returns 3D. No, Returns 3D is the 3DS version of it, and yeah, it looks like a pretty solid platforming franchise. Nothing too special. I like the art style of the games. They look pretty cool.
I think the Donkey Kong games, I prefer them over the 2D Mario games.
Whoa, that is a hot take.
I'd say if there's gonna be like a favorite out of everyone, it's gonna be either Tropical Freeze or the original Country.
Yeah. By the way, feel free to comment what your
I
favorites
slightly
are.
disagree. I slightly disagree. I think DKC2 is a bit more loved than the original.
The nature of this list will be super opinionated, so it's not like we have the objective answer. We're just some dudes on the internet. I'm just.
If you disagree with me in the comments, I'll kill you.
Yeah, I'm just going by general consensus at this point. No need to like take it that seriously. This is just a fun little conceptual video idea. Let's move on before this gets any more awkward. Okay, the next series is a very, very interesting one. Legend of Zelda, one of the most contentious Nintendo series at the moment. People are really estranged as to where the series will take one forward from Tears of the Kingdom. Speaking of Tears of the Kingdom, that is the choice I chose for what people would consider the best game in the franchise. But I know that is a very hot take to say nowadays, which is crazy, as a couple of years ago, Breath of the Wild was seen as one of the best video games of all time. What do you have to say on the subject matter, guys?
I don't know. I think my favorite one is probably the minigame from Nintendo Land.
Alrighty then. Now he gets kicked out of the Discord chat. Okay.
What?
No, but seriously, for my pick, I personally go with Wind Waker, not only because it was the first Legend of Zelda game I played, but it was also the first one I completed because, man, these games are cryptic. Wind Waker is one of the weirdest games in the franchise because when it first came out, it was simultaneously hated, but now that it's been like it's been 2 decades since the game came out, it's hailed as one of the best in the series. And that really just goes to show how graphics really aren't that important to making a game that fun. I know that's ironic, but like one of the main critiques of Wind Waker at the time is that it looks cartoony, but as they see now years later, the cartoony art style adds a level of flair and personality to the gameplay that can't really be replicated with the realistic art style. On top of that,
and Wind Waker HD is just...
yeah, I'm talking about the Wind Waker HD port, by the way. That's the one I played. But add on top of that the open sea, which adds so much exploration and fun joy to just going around. With the amazing soundtrack in the background, Wind Waker has one of the best Legend of Zelda soundtracks I've had the pleasure of hearing, especially when compared to all of the other soundtracks in this series. Yeah, Wind Waker just seems like an excellent intro to the series for new players, except for the Triforce quest at the end. That could eat dirt.
If I can share my opinion, I believe it's far from the greatest in the series, but my favorite for many of the same reasons as Plexi's Wind Waker is Breath of the Wild. That's the game that got me into the series. That is now my favorite series of all time.
Favorite game of all time? Or series?
Series. Franchise. Anything.
Oh, Breath of the Wild. The 2 games.
No, like, Breath of the Wild made me love Zelda as a... That is now my favorite series. Anyway, yeah, Breath of the Wild, there's just so much to it. I know a lot of people say it's a big empty world. They must have missed all the side quests, but that's okay. Because you can just... With Breath of the Wild, I just spent so many hours. I have 365 across one file. Now that is including hard mode. So
that is amazing.
It was like 300 off of hard mode and like another 50 or so on hard mode. But yeah, I adore this game. It got me into it.
What about
if I were to say what...
My bad.
Sorry.
Keep going.
If I were to just say what I think is what I personally feel like is the best, it would be... I'm tempted to say Ocarina of Time, but Wind Waker is just so good. And I haven't played Twilight Princess, but I know I would love that one too.
Twilight Princess is the most underrated by far. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Twilight Princess and A Link Between Worlds are the most underrated like Zelda games. Majora's Mask is also one that people will put in contention. That's the thing about the Zelda franchise. You can make an honest argument for every single game being the best game in the series, which is just crazy.
True.
Like, what other game franchise do you know is that insanely consistent that no other picks are obviously bad? Even Skyward Sword.
The next one.
Even
Actually, the next series.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Even Skyward Sword.
I think I know more
people...
about the next one than you do.
For the next series we have on this list is Metroid, another game series I know nothing about. Okay, I know stuff about Metroid. Metroidvania comes from the term from the game Metroid, so I know what it's about. But this style of game, I'm not a huge fan of. So I'm gonna leave this to you, David. You explain what Metroid has to offer as a game series.
So I've beaten 3 Metroid games and heavily played 4 because I just can't beat Super Metroid. It's a really long and bulky game. And all 4 of them I absolutely adore. Just to recap, it's Metroid Zero Mission, Dread, Prime, and like I said, Super I haven't finished. My personal favorite has to be Dread. It's just perfect, except for, you know, the music isn't great, minus a few tracks. But, you know, it's just infinitely replayable. It's probably got my favorite controls in any video game ever.
Jeez.
And it's also, like, really beautiful for the Switch. So is Prime. Prime is just a little too slow for me, but it's still, like, a lot of fun. It's just Metroid in 3D.
What about the Super Metroid SNES one that people regard as one of the best video games of all time? Like, many people...
I think I just need to play it more. But also, I find it a lot less snappy. And, I mean, it's a SNES game. But I find it a lot less snappy than Dread is, and something about it is just so satisfying to just kill an enemy, do anything. I don't know.
For my take, I don't really like the Metroidvania series as a genre. This is just personal take. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I like really tightly woven narrative games that force you to have a goal and force you to stick to it linearly. Which I know sounds crazy, but if it's well crafted enough, like an experience like that, such as Undertale, I know is my primary example, foreshadowing by the way, then it's just my favorite type of game, you know? I just like linear games more than I like open-ended games where it's do your own thing. Which you'll see as a common trend. As you'll see as a common trend on this list. Oh yeah, I've heard Zero Mission is also really good. I should play the Metroid.
Yeah, but that
games.
one's a lot more focused. That one's a lot more focused than what's a remake of the first, but it's a lot more focused. I think you would like it.
Anthony, are you here to say Federation Force is the best Metroid game?
It's true.
That was the most disliked Nintendo video on the internet.
Dread is probably my favorite. I mean, it's a good revival of the series. Yeah, it's a good sort of revival of the series. It had been, what, like 10, 15 years since the last game. And it was amazing. I mean, the combat? It wasn't like a reboot, but it was new. Yeah, you know, it has the classic, like, sort of 2D instead of, like, 3D. The enemies, you know, it sort of gives you're always, like, sort of terrified that they're gonna just come out of nowhere and just, you know, rip your face off.
Wait, is it a horror game? Wait, what? Is that why it's called Dread?
Yeah, it's sort of a horror.
That's actually pretty unique.
Not like horror. Not like horror, but, like, it's definitely scary.
Alright, the next series is Yoshi. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say what my favorite is. Yoshi's Woolly World is the only game I played, and that game is basically like Kirby's Epic Yarn. Don't mean to spoil it. It's like Kirby's Epic Yarn, but times 10 in terms of its aesthetics and commitment to the gameplay. It just has such a gorgeous art style. I mean, what else can I say about it? It's really beginner friendly, and I'm talking like beginner friendly. Like, you could give this to a toddler and they would probably beat the game. I'm almost half joking. And yeah, it's one of those vibe type of series where you don't really have to focus that much on like serious gameplay. You play it while you're listening to a video in the background or having a conversation with people. It's just so wholesome. The progression's really nice. The art style is adorable. And yeah, it's my pick, I would say, for the best Yoshi game. But what do y'all have? Do y'all have any strong Yoshi opinions?
I I'd agree. For my personal favorite, I'd say it's Woolly World. I love in a game where you get to like customize like your suit or whatever, and you can do that in the game. And I loved that. Like, I mean, I loved the like secret ones that are like based off of other Nintendo stuff. But for all time, like everybody's favorite, it probably would have to be Island. I think Yoshi's Island. I mean, that's a classic, and like. I feel like that's definitely when people think of a Yoshi game, that's what they think of as the best.
Yeah, most iconic, definitely. It sold the most. What did you say, David?
So, my Yoshi experience comes down to the Sonic Lost World DLC level.
Oh my gosh. Wait, is that
as such, I would have to... Yes.
Sonic Lost World DLC. Oh, I think it's just Sonic 06. I cannot hear. Wow.
Oh, no.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Should have made a Legend.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks fun. I played the Crafted World demo, too.
It's really appealing, as you can see. Man, Sonic Lost World.
Oh, hey, Dark Find Sonic. I like that guy. He's a speedrunner.
We're getting distracted. Let's just play. Next up is the Kirby series. I have a lot to say about this one. First off, I'll begin with saying Kirby is another one of those you can never be disappointed as a fan because every game is a banger, and the fan base is pretty non-toxic. I mean, Kirby is an adorable series, it's wholesome. What can you be toxic about? I'm actually conflicted, so before we get started, no, I'm not saying Return to Dreamland is the best. Return to Dreamland is a good step into 3D, but I've not Return to Dreamland. The Forgotten Land. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a great transition to 3D, but one, it's about 20 years late, and also, it seems like it's missing something. I can't quite explain it, but like all the other Kirby games have something, whether it's its multiplayer, its story, its overall charm. Forgotten Land kind of misses it. I like the opening having actual lyrics in the game, but for me, Kirby Return to Dreamland is one of my top 20 favorite games of all time. I played it right after playing Superstar, another Kirby game that is also in contention for the best in the series, and ever since then, Return to Dreamland just offered everything as an improvement. The abilities to have more varied movesets, with Rock Kirby even getting a new type of form and ability. You have the mini games, which are so delightful and fun as hell to play with your friends or your siblings. And on top of that, you even got a remake with Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which makes it have a gorgeous art style, along with other new features that pertain to the Switch, improving this already masterful game. And also, it's really the point in the series where I started to realize how much of a monster Kirby is power-wise. Like, Superstar did it with him fighting the literal wish clock, but overall, like, Kirby fighting an Eldritch God at the end of the game, it's just one of the charms of the series that I can't explain it except you have to play it.
I think it's very simple what the best Kirby game is, and that is none of them. I mean, it is the worst Nintendo franchise ever.
Yo, that's strike two. You're getting on the hit list after this.
And, Forgotten Land was good, but I feel like the sort of after main story part with the the bonus content after we go through all the worlds again, that part really dragged, and by that time in the game I was kind of getting annoyed with it.
What? That was the biggest... That was when the game was actually pretty hard.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of was annoyingly hard, I feel. It wasn't like fun difficulty where it's like, oh, okay, I'm like learning from my mistakes. It just sort of felt like random nonsense killing me. But it was definitely, I definitely wouldn't say my favorite.
The plot twist was good, though.
Epic Yarn.
Yeah, stop.
Epic Yarn and Return to Dreamland would probably be my picks. Because those two were just Epic Yarn was super stylistic, and I loved the sort of building homes for the people, and all the civilians and stuff. And then it was a different sort of gameplay than normal. And then Return to Dreamland was just super good. I loved playing as Bandana Waddle Dee, and just slaughtering everybody with the spears. So I'd say probably out of the two, Return to Dreamland is my more favorite pick, but I'd say they're both really good.
All right, then, and Crane, any serious?
So I don't have much experience with Kirby. The only game I played significantly is, what's it called? The one on the Switch, the first one.
Oh, Forgotten Land. Oh.
The first one.
Star Allies,
Star Allies.
One of the
Star Allies.
One of the safest games of the series.
I was not a fan of Star Allies. I was playing it and I felt no emotion, and I didn't beat the game, but I'm in the last
Star
world.
Allies is made for literal children, like babies, not children, like babies.
Yeah.
It's so.
I wasn't a
easy.
fan of it.
Without.
However,
Go on. Sorry.
while you guys were talking, I did remember I played a little bit out of during my free time, Kirby's Adventure on the NES and Kirby Superstar on the SNES, and I have to agree, Superstar was a lot of fun. I might go back to playing it more.
Yeah, Superstar Ultra is also another one that is going to be in the runner-up, because Superstar Ultra is just Superstar, but on the DS, and it just makes everything better, so of course it will be top 10. But ultimately, for this list, I chose Planet Robobot, not because it's my personal favorite, but because every single time I hear it brought up, people are like, oh my gosh, this is Peak Kirby. And I've seen the gameplay, the robot mechanic where you can swap abilities with your robot and make it have the abilities instead, plus the addition of Pokemon abilities, Jesus Christ, of Kirby abilities such as ESP Kirby, which is literally just Ness, Dr. Kirby, and Poison Kirby, really just adds a lot to the series. Plus, it's another, I know this sounds weird, it's another story-heavy Kirby game with like the story with the takeover, the alien invasion being actually really compelling, and the finale, which has Kirby literally take over the Halibird as his robot transformation, simply iconic. And once again, showing why Kirby is like the literal god of gaming. Like literally, he could probably beat anyone. But that's neither here nor there. I like y'all's opinions on the series. It's a pretty wholesome series, really hard to get mad at. It just has a lot of insane consistency. All right, next one is Star Fox. Do y'all know anything about Star Fox?
I've got nothing to say.
I
know the Wii U one is hated.
I mean, Star Fox is, I mean, you gotta go with the classic, you know, do a barrel roll. I mean, how many games really are there?
Five that are notable. Okay, no, there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Star Fox 2 doesn't exist. Don't say anything, Crane. So yeah, Star Fox 64 is the most popular by far, but I'm actually gonna go with maybe the most controversial pick so far in the video, Star Fox Assault. People never talk about how good this game is, and it's actually insulting. So first of all, the plane combat is way more versatile and like complex than the Star Fox 64. You now have on the ground combat, you can stand on people's wings and shoot at enemies. You can do like way more complex aerial maneuvers, and the air fighting in this game is just so much more cool. You have the switch between like aerial field of view type of style and then the space sections where you have on rails from like 64. The biggest complaint I see with this game is that it ditches the branching paths of Star Fox 64, but I think that works well towards its narrative and its overall cinematic feel that Assault has. It's just an amazing experience in a game that I highly recommend Star Fox players play, even if you're like new to the series. Like, if you like 64, you'll definitely like this game. So that's why I chose it. But what do you have to say about it?
My favorite is probably going to be Star Fox 2. I mean,
Crane?
It's just the best.
Nothing to say?
I have not played Star Fox at all. All I'll say is that Star Fox 1 on the SNES gives me a bit of a headache when I try to watch it.
Yeah,
64 looks the coolest. I didn't even know Assault was a game.
Yeah, Assault is so underrated. It's so underrated, bro. Oh my goodness. Alright.
I know the Wii U one sucks.
Oh yeah, Star Fox Zero is probably one of the worst. Like, it's by far the worst, because it's just Star Fox 64, but we made it worse. I don't even know how you do that. Alright. Moving on to another series, which I'm probably going to do a majority of the talking for. F-Zero GX. You see me play this game on this channel, and I gush about it all the time if you hang around me. What about you, Anthony? Do you know much about the F-Zero series?
I mean, you know, I know a bit. I've seen you play a bit, but really, I think Captain Falcon is really awesome in Smash.
Okay, what about you, Crane?
The animated.
After you ranted about F-Zero to me, I gave F-Zero X a try on the Nintendo 64 line, and I actually really enjoyed it, so,
Oh, you gotta play GX. Okay, let me just go crazy. F-Zero GX...
I don't have a GameCube, man.
You can do the One Piece method. That's all.
Oh yeah, I should go check out my dolphin.
Yo, don't say that up. Okay, let me gush about this game for like 2 minutes straight. F-Zero GX is possibly one of the greatest racing games ever made. every track in this game, every character, it just has so much personality and style put into it. I can't believe there's an individual interview for every single character you get after you win the Grand Prix, and each difficulty provides you with different options to flesh out their characters. Every vehicle looks amazing. The graphics still hold up even all this time later. I know most people won't agree with me, but like, I mean, come on, look at this. Each of the cars have little indents and scratch marks on them to indicate that they've been used and pushed to their max. The story is kind of goofy. I'm not gonna lie. The cutscenes are pretty. They're pretty outdated. They're weird. I'm not gonna even try to defend the secret special endings you get for every character after you beat the hardest Grand Prix difficulty with them. But like the gameplay itself, I mean, it's probably one of the hardest racing game series, with like the story mode being iconically hard in this game. I love the fact that you can do all these little technical drifts and all the side quick steps. Just the tech in this game is amazing, and the racing itself is unmatched. Like, it is so fast paced, with every mistake you make costing you like probably entire cups, if I'm honest with you, with my favorite car being the Sonic Phantom. It's just an amazing game, and most people know it's an amazing game. I would make a whole video about this, but we're running a little low on time. Like, I have to speed up the process a bit. Play F-Zero GX if you're a racing game fan, and definitely if you're an F-Zero fan. Alright, another controversial series, the Pokemon series. Oh boy!
Controversial.
Oh gosh, has every game that's come out of Pokemon since like maybe X and Y, has it gotten controversial? I'm pretty sure it has. Literally every release.
I think any pick.
You go ahead.
I think any pick is going to be blasted as like the worst opinion on the internet.
Yeah. So
yeah,
You go. I've been talking.
I think the games haven't exactly gotten worse. I think it's really just people are getting tired of the same thing over and over again.
Facts.
But that's what they've always been. From the first game to this game right now, the series has never really changed.
Also the
and
lies. Sorry.
No, I really think people are just getting tired of it. But they think that every single game before, like, you know, X and Y were all these like monumental, like big games, like that, like literally, like were the best ever, when they were all just the same.
Do keep in mind they did lie directly with Sword and Shield. Sorry. Like the whole National Dex code box, that was completely on them. That was their fault 100%.
Where it's like with how game developing is, and like how, you know, like crunching and stuff like that, I could understand them not wanting to.
But saying you're improving the animations and then blatantly showing their rip from the 3DS one is a little disingenuous.
A few of them are better.
I think any game that is like before, I don't know, like Black and White, I think that's just like ridiculous, because I mean the game, like random encounters are so terrible. I hate random encounters so.
Yeah.
And that I should not play any early Pokemon game because of them.
Oh my gosh, yeah, getting through the classics, oh my gosh, they are such bad games. Like,
especially the caves.
Yeah.
The special.
I love the classics, the caves, oh my god.
Psychic type was so overpowered.
Honestly.
I'm talking about the original, if y'all are wondering.
I was thinking of Hoenn.
Let's talk about what the actual best game is instead of just complaining about the series. For this pick, I had to go with Black and White 2. That might be an insane take. I know people simp for Legends Arceus, and I'm not gonna lie, it just looks like a Breath of the Wild clone. I'm sorry, that's just a hot take I have. But Black and White
me on camera.
Black and White 2 introduced. So it's not so much what Black and White like introduces to the series, even though that is a lot. It's just perfecting the formula. Everything in Black and White, it's just like it perfected everything. The Pokemon battle. I was like, what is it? The Battle Championship? I think the Championship. It's like a better Battle Frontier.
I know what you're talking about. Pokemon World Championship.
Yeah, World Championship. It's just it's a better Battle Frontier with, I kid you not, every single Pokemon trainer in the series up until that point being inside of that World Championship. Like, come on, that's crazy. The movie acting thing, even though people criticize that a lot, is really engaging and has hilarious dialogue. The story in the Black and White games is genuinely compelling, with the main antagonist being my favorite antagonist in the series. And overall, just the amount of variety in Pokemon, the new abilities, the new gameplay styles. Black and White 2 truly felt like Game Freak was actually trying. And I think the low sales of Black and White 2 is what actually led them to start becoming complacent and just doing the same old stuff over and over again, because it's just free money. Like, the Pokemon series isn't going to get less popular over time. Why need to innovate when you could do the same thing and just get more money for it? Unlike Legend of Zelda, which forced itself to grow and become this new genre of game. But that's just my hot take. What do you have to say, Crane?
So I just wanted to mention, based on that rant from before, that I feel like Scarlet and Violet, although they're like objectively bad games with all the issues, especially after the DLC, holy crap, they are fun. They added a lot of missing features. Like, I already felt the base game was fine in terms of content, but after the DLC, I am like overwhelmed with how much content I have to do, and all that I enjoy. Anyway, my actual favorite game of the series right now is Legends Arceus, and I haven't played Black 2 White 2 in a long time. I'm sure that'll either be tied or beat Legends Arceus, but I don't know, Legends Arceus, the feel of it, it's just so... something about it, I don't know, like...
Alright, fair enough.
Well, at the time I liked the story. The graphics are bad, but the skyboxes are beautiful.
3 FPS run cycle. Okay, I'll stop hating. What do you have to say, Anthony, about the favorite game?
I have 3 favorites. As far as mainline, it's definitely got to be Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yes.
Ultra Sun,
I mean,
Ultra
I love the
Moon? Okay, go.
They're good games, man. They are good games.
It's not that they're bad games, it's that they're like... It's like, again, Game Freak made the same game again, but cost full price for it, and it has some improvements on the original. Well, go ahead.
They took a good game and made it better.
And charged you full price for it. It should have been DLC, is what I'm saying.
It should have, but it's still a good game.
The extra bonus stuff is really flippin' fun. I mean, they added a bunch. They added a bunch of new Pokemon. They added a bunch of new story, a bunch of new side stuff. But as far as the other 2 favorites, it's got to be Pokepark 1 and Pokepark 2.
Okay, that's the end of this segment.
They are
Pokepark 2 is actually really good. I also didn't even mention the mystery dungeon games, the countless Coliseum games, XD Gale Darkness, which also people say is one of the best in the series. But I stuck to mainline stuff for this video, mostly because I didn't want it to be like 5 hours long. Alright.
I feel like those games are they are some of my favorite games ever, and they are just amazing.
Alright, probably another one of the fun picks, Earthbound. Okay, I'm just gonna come right off the bat. There's no like battling, there's no debate. Mother 3 is the best like Earthbound game of all time, or Mother game of all time. It's one of the best RPGs ever made, and I still come back to it and I'm like, yeah, this is a masterpiece. It's in my top 10 favorite games of all time. It's pretty easy to explain. The character writing is brilliant. Its ending and its story is like genuinely emotional. One of the first times I was like, wait, game stories can actually make you cry? I didn't know that was possible. And its combat is super satisfying without having to be super grindy. And just the overall art style and aesthetic of Mother 3 it's like, wow, that's a video game right there. Mother 2 and, not Mother 2, Earthbound and Mother 1 are also like all good games. The Mother series is just insanely good. Like, no competition. I can see why people love it so much.
My favorite game has probably got to be Undertale.
I forgot about that Earthbound game. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's an awesome good game.
Yeah, turning Ness into the skeleton character.
I'm not trying to get my channel doxed. Okay, let's say actual games.
Anthony, did you have anything else to add?
Yeah, did you have anything serious, or did you?
No.
Okay, you go, Crane.
It's just Mother.
Okay. So I actually feel passionate about this because my favorite's Earthbound, not Mother 3. And the thing is, I love Mother 3, but I adore Earthbound. And for me personally, the only thing that would excel Mother 3 is it just takes a little too long for it to get, really going. And I didn't really
like all
enjoy
good
playing it that much.
Like all good stories do. Okay, I'll stop.
I didn't really enjoy playing it that much until, like, Chapter 5 or something. So... However, Earthbound, I feel like, is just consistently a ton of fun. And also, I love how, like, it makes you emotional not through its story, because it's a very light story, but its themes.
Yeah, the music...
And, I mean, I just don't have much more to add about Earthbound. It's really, like, everything else, like, story, gameplay, is slightly beneath Mother 3. But I feel like as a whole, it's just so much more consistent than Mother 3 for me personally, and that's why.
Earthbound feels a little bit more arcadey to me. Some of the mechanics are a little outdated, while Mother 3 is hard, but it's like the favorite type of hard I like. Like, you're gonna have to actually try to beat this game, but you're not gonna have to look up guides and kind of exploit something to, you know, have full enjoyment of it. That's just my opinion, though. Most people will
like the inventory size, I'll say that.
Yeah, all Earthbound games are masterpieces. Not much to explain here. Let's move on.
Mother 1 would be a masterpiece, and if it got remade, it probably could be the best Mother, to be honest.
Alright, Ice Climbers. Any hard Ice Climbers fans out there? This is a really hard
They dropped the ball with Ice Climber 2. It was such a disappointment.
Yeah, I know, bro. Like, there's so many good Ice Climbers games out there. It's such a hard choice to pick, man. I'm honestly wait for words. What do you have to say, Anthony?
Ice Climbers is that a real series? Like, I mean, did you make this up for the video?
Okay, yeah.
Are you trolling me?
So, funny enough, I actually don't like the Ice Climber game. Like, the actual game itself, I think it has clunky controls. I think it has an ugly art style, even for NES standards. And it's just not that fun to play. You just go up infinitely. It's like the worst type of endless game. And, yeah, that's my opinion on it. Ice physics suck. Don't make it into a full game. Let's move on. Okay, Fire Emblem. This is where the video gets extremely hard for us because none of us are actually hardcore Fire Emblem fans. The first Fire Emblem game I played was Fire Emblem Fates, and that is widely considered one of the worst in the series. So that's interesting. No, but really, I don't even know what to say. What do y'all have to say?
I mean, I'm not a fan of Fire Emblem, but if I had to pick, it would probably be Three Houses. I mean, it just kind of took Fire Emblem, it sort of remade it, and that's sort of what they've been going on for a while now. Even the newest one with the toothpaste main character sort of builds off of Three Houses as far as its style and gameplay, I'm pretty sure.
I like how you can romance the characters. That's cool. I actually don't like the combat. It's like chess, where position matters, but it's like you add luck into it with critical hits and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should even be saying what I'm saying now. That might have pissed off a lot of fans that I just simplified it that much. Yeah, guys, it's gonna be one of those where you're gonna have to tell us in the comment section, any hardcore Fire Emblem fans, because I have nothing on this series. I just know them because of Smash Bros. And Fire Emblem Fates was one of my least favorite gaming experiences of all time. I hated the game all the way through. Jeez.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
Corey is one of the stupidest protagonists I've ever had the displeasure of seeing. People only like the female version. Anything to say, Crane?
Yeah, I haven't played a single Fire Emblem game, but I do want to play Three Houses.
Alright, let's move on. Another hard one.
I kill you 3 times.
Game I should keep that in. Okay, that was funny. Game & Watch. This one is actually another hard one. There's so much to choose from, bro. I don't even know. There actually is a lot to choose from, by the way. So, Game & Watch is a console that has a bunch of mini games on it, and obviously, since it came out in like 1981, none of us have played the game, and I don't think any of y'all played any remakes, if there were any. So, yeah. I like the racist game in Game & Watch. That's pretty cool. Okay, I need to chill. No, seriously though, what do we even say about this? What do we even say about this? My Game & Watch is so old. I don't even think people watching this video know what the Game & Watch.
We just say there's not much to talk about.
Yeah,
because none of us have played it, and they're just mini games.
The whole game is like a bunch of mini games, so there's only one thing to choose. And for what I've seen about it, it looks like a mobile game tier game where it's fun. Is that Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, I told you, Kingdom Hearts, man.
Okay, yeah, Game & Watch is the best Game & Watch game. Surprise, surprise. Let's move on. Ah, finally, one I could talk about. Alright, Kid Icarus series, there's really only one choice, and I would really want to see anyone who vouches for the first game. Kid Icarus Uprising is
the OG.
Kid Icarus Uprising is one of the best 3DS games ever made. It's the last game in the series, over a decade, but it has One, it has my favorite mix of gameplay and story that I've never seen any other game replicate that much, and it's really confusing. The way Kid Icarus Uprising's story is conveyed is you'll go through the levels, and as you're going through the levels, you'll get these text boxes of the people talking to you. So you'll have Palutena, Hades, the other goddesses. They'll speak to you while you're playing the game, so you have to focus on the combat of the game and what they're saying at the same time. And weirdly enough, this makes it way more compelling than watching cutscenes of the game, if that makes sense. On top of that, the OST is phenomenal. The voice acting is so like full of talent that I would be surprised if they weren't Hollywood tier. And the artwork for them in the portraits below, it's adorable. Main complaint about this game were the controls, that I don't even find them that hard to use. The gameplay is nice and sweet with the many different weapon varieties of the arms, gauntlets, the arrows, the claymore, which is my favorite weapon, and like the palms being interesting and unique in their own fashion. Yeah, it just feels like Sakurai really he took a dead franchise and made it so much more, he filled it with so much more personality and uniqueness that it became like its own flagship series for a bit in terms of Smash Bros. 4 representation. It's just a masterpiece. You go play it like Uprising if you can. It's a really hard game to play because of the control schemes and if you don't have an original 3DS, but if you somehow find a way to play it, I challenge you to find a flaw with it. It's really hard to not enjoy this game. It's so charming.
It'd be even more enjoyable on the Nintendo Switch, just saying.
Yeah, Nintendo, it's almost like good games should be preserved so people don't have to pirate them.
You know, true, and that's why I don't like the series. If it was a good game, it would be on the Switch already. But
no, that's not how that works.
Kid Icarus NES is on the Switch.
Okay.
That's why Kid Icarus NES is on the Switch.
Yeah, bro, really? I don't even know what Kid Icarus NES has other than it's an arcade game. Do you know about Uprising? Anyone else have hard game Uprising? Uprising opinions?
I haven't played it, but it looks like a blast.
What about you?
I like the character design.
Also, this game is funny, like one of the funniest video games. I'm not even joking. Its humor is so, like, it breaks the fourth wall constantly, and it's so zany. Also, Palutena is really hot. It's the blue blur himself, Sonic the Hedgehog. So this one might be the most contentious. Wait, your turn. This one might be the most contentious one on the list. For this game, I have to go with Sonic Generations, and I know people are gonna be like, "It's over a decade. How can you go with Sonic Generations as the best game?" Hear me out. Okay, I'm not going with Mania, even though that's the most obvious choice, because Mania is just the 3 games, but they add 4 stages to them. As amazing as it is, it feels like just a revamped version of the classic games with some extra stages added to it. Sonic Generations is the last proper Sonic, like I'm talking proper Sonic game that didn't have something holding it back. For Sonic Frontiers, sorry guys, Sonic Frontiers, the cyberspace levels, they're not really good. And the open world gameplay is really decent at times, but the controls hold back Sonic Frontiers way too much. I feel like they should have polished them up a bit more before they released the game, but that's just my personal opinion. I know people don't agree with this and they're probably gonna slander me in the comments, but like, yeah, every other Sonic game, they always have a criteria. It's like Sonic Unleashed is good, except for the Werehog. Sonic Adventure 2 is good, except for the battle stages with like the Eggman mechs. Sonic Adventure is good, except for Big the Cat and the other ones like Amy, and even though I like the Knuckles sections, people count those. And Sonic Heroes is, we don't talk about Sonic Heroes. Actually, we don't talk about a lot of Sonic games like Sonic 06 and Shadow of the Hedgehog and Sonic Forces. All those games are trash. Sonic is a very inconsistent series, and Sonic Generations feels like the only Sonic game where 100% of the game is completely playable and enjoyable. The classic stages are good. The modern Sonic stages are the best modern Sonic stages in the entire franchise, with like my personal favorite being Seaside Hill. The level design is just amazing in them. The only problem with Sonic Generations is its story, but as I stated before, gameplay is the most important part of a video game. I don't like that the story sucks, but as I said again, Sonic is actually a really hard series to choose for because of how inconsistent it is. But I'll leave the mic to y'all, David.
So, yeah, my personal favorite by far is Unleashed, which I know is a controversial pick. And I'm not saying it's the best, because if I have to say the best, I agree with your pick, Plexi. Generations, for the exact same reason. It's just the most consistent. It's the one where you can play and find the least amount of flaws in, because most of it's just good.
And most polished. Like, this game looks amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it looked good when I played it on my 360, and then I bought the Steam port. Ooh.
Don't get mad at me that the best Sonic game's over a decade old, guys. Blame the company. What do you have to say, Anthony? Oh gosh.
Best Sonic game. Boom! Rise of Lyric!
No, my
Without a
gosh!
doubt.
No! Why? No, seriously though, what's your favorite pick?
Let's see. Probably, I like Sonic Heroes.
What?
Sonic Heroes is fun. Dude, come on.
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't realize Sonic Heroes is a crazy thing to say. Just saying.
I got the Rail Canyon and I couldn't
also-
play the game anymore.
And then also Generations.
Bingo Highway is one of the worst Sonic levels ever made. I'd rather play Kingdom Valley from Sonic 06.
That's actually fun. I actually like Sonic 06. It helps that it was my first one, but...
Okay, liking Sonic 06 is a little absurd. I think Sonic Forces is the worst Sonic game, but we're not here for hot takes on Sonic series. Sonic is one of the most
Next episode week.
It's one of the most hot takeable series.
You know what? My favorite Sonic game is probably, hold on.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yes, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That's my second favorite.
Sonic Mania is amazing. I'm not gonna say. The only reason I didn't choose this because it feels cheating how the best Sonic game is just a revamped version of one of the first Sonic games. I don't know why. That just seems even more pathetic than previous Sonic generations.
It's a really good recycled game.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's a little bit insane. For all the series we've chosen so far, it's a recent game that's in consideration at the very least. But for Sonic, we have to go back decades.
My favorite game is definitely Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're moving on. We need to stop wasting time.
Dude, Sonic Spinball though?
Oh my gosh, Sonic Underground. That's a show. That's not even a game.
That's a show.
Next series up is the WarioWare series, a game series that basically is a bunch of mini games strung together with gorgeous art by this guy's name who I can't pronounce. So only one I've played is Smooth Moves, which is widely considered one of the best in the series, but I've heard a lot about the Nintendo Switch versions, Move It. That one's also pretty good. What do y'all think?
I forget the name, but one of the classics, like, I think on the Wii, the Wii version, that's probably my favorite.
Smooth Moves, that's the one I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Then Smooth Moves, yeah, that's probably the one that
I love the art style in this game.
played the... oh yeah, they go. And a bunch of cool characters that, I mean, are only really in this series.
So, I think I played like 3 micro games and Get It Together. I have no opinion.
Yeah, I thought so. WarioWare is a pretty niche series that you have to be in the know to like. Bro, the art style is so gorgeous. I love the artist for Rhythm Heaven. Like, he makes this game series so charming as it is. But yeah, probably Smooth Moves or Move It is the best in the series. I haven't really played most of them, and I only remember from playing with my brother who had the game. So in my free time, I'm gonna have to play them. Set it up on that totally legit Nintendo software that allows you to play their games.
What? You're getting banned!
Okay. So for this next series, we have Metal Gear Solid. Woohoo! Do y'all know anything about this series?
I do.
Okay,
This one's tough. I mean,
thank goodness.
as far as favorites go, probably Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, or maybe Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3, Sons of Liberty.
2 is seen as the most...
one.
People say 2 is like the best one of all time.
Yeah, 2 is really good, but I don't know, I think 5 is honestly also really good. I mean, it's sort of, I don't want to say it's kind of like Breath of the Wild, where, like, you can do, there's just so much that you could do. I mean, there's so many different tools, weapons, you can get allies, you can get a dog with, like, a knife in his mouth, Persona 3 reference.
Oh, yeah,
I
remember that. Okay, yeah, that's funny.
You can like make, you can get like cardboard cutouts of the enemies, and they'll go up to them and just start talking to them. You can fall in balloons to crash down on enemies. There's so much to do in it that I'd say it's probably the best.
Yeah, I seen Metal Gear Resurgence has one of the most iconic villains in Senator Armstrong, but I don't think that's the most popular.
You mean Revengeance?
Oh, am I stupid? Did I say Resurgence?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Good and all, but I don't. I think it's really like sort of inflated by the memes and stuff.
Yeah, I know it for memes mostly, not really anything else.
Definitely, I wouldn't say it's one of the best. It's the thing is, it's very different than the rest of the series. The rest of the series is sort of like
Stealthy.
sort of a stealth, sort of a stealth action. While this is like straight up, frickin' rush in with a sword and just
The
slice
music
everybody's
sounds
heads
insane.
Music is good, but
What about you, David?
I definitely see.
I haven't played Metal Gear at all. I like the one with the "Why are we still here" meme.
Which one's that one, Anthony?
It's definitely. I don't think it's 3. It might be 4.
Dude, how many are there? Jeez.
Yeah, that's probably my pick for the best.
I'll put Metal Gear Solid 2 just because everyone gushes about that one, and I hear Phantom Pain is controversial. We're moving on to the Pikmin series. You take it away, David. You know I have nothing to say about this. Maybe Anthony has something to say, but I, again, hadn't played any.
Yeah, so Pikmin. I got 4 for Christmas, which was a few days ago, and I really like it, and I recommend to any Switch owner. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about 1 through 3. I'm sure they're really good, but I just love 4 so far. So.
What makes it so good? I know the series is about survival.
I don't know, just good vibes and nature and...
Very much Kirby vibes with the just enjoying gameplay.
Yeah, except there's no Eldritch demons.
What about you, Anthony?
Well, I don't know what you guys... That game is stressful. I mean, there's monsters coming to eat all of my children. And I don't know. I wouldn't say there's a bad Pikmin game. I would probably say
Pikmin.
which one was my
the 3DS,
Pikmin
the 3DS
3.
Pikmin.
I mean, Pikmin 1, 2 is amazing. Pikmin 3 is really good, and then Pikmin 4 is, I mean, it's been what, a decade? I want to say.
It's been in the works for a long time.
It was almost done in 2013. They just hit a roadblock.
No, I was just saying that Pikmin 4 is also extremely great.
Yeah, everyone says it's a masterpiece, one of the best Nintendo Switch games of all time. So that's a bit high praise. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's crazy that people say it's one of the best.
I'll get back to you in a few days. I say Dread is one of the best Switch games of all time.
For me, still
Metroid.
best Switch game is still special to me because I don't play the Switch anymore. We have R.O.B. So this one, I already said I was gonna do something unique for it. Since R.O.B. as like a thing isn't actually a Nintendo franchise, it's a toy for the NES. I think we're gonna make this fun and just say what the best Nintendo console is, since it's fitting with the theme of the video. And I don't think there's much competition. If we're talking about pure, not Nintendo acting right at the same time, we're talking purely the games on the console and the quality of the console. Nintendo Switch is one of the best consoles ever made. Right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah, you gotta go Nintendo Wii.
You're insane. The shovelware on that could be used to dig a grave. Like, it's insane.
I was gonna say, there's one console where anyone can say that we would like to play.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill y'all both after this.
But I agree with the Switch too. Wii and Switch are like neck and neck for me.
The quality of the amount of games and quality on the Switch is absurd. It being out for 7 years now, I can definitely say it's one of the best consoles you can buy. Besides just like straight up retro gaming console like the Steam Deck or a PC. Like, Nintendo Switch is up there with some of the best. It's not cheap by any means, like $300 and then $60 for a game is a bit absurd, especially when they used to give you free games back when the game industry cared about the consumer. But in terms of the quality of games and the amount of support it has, Switch is obviously the best one right now. It's the one Nintendo is putting all their money into. It's the one with all these amazing games we talked about. Nintendo Switch wins. R.O.B. is not a game character. Let's just move on.
Excuse me? I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.
Yep, you already guessed it. So, funny thing enough, New Horizons was hailed as, I mean, it's the second best-selling Switch game. New Horizons got, like, what, 50 million sales? What's New Horizons?
I think 30 million.
It's insane. Like, it's up there with Mario Kart 8, which is not normal. I don't know why it's so popular. Not New Horizons Outdoor. Jesus, Google.
Because it was over the pandemic, and it was just a cozy little game that people could play while they were stuck at their homes.
But now people are criticizing the mess out of it, and they're like, it's like the most drop-off game ever for some reason. They talk about the community is super toxic, which I don't know if that's true or not. I heard that it's like people charging bells, like absurd amount of bells for islands and stuff like that. A bunch of controversy, just a bunch of controversy. Very funny for such an innocent-looking game. what would you say is the best Animal Crossing? I only played a New Leaf, and I got bored because I don't like sim type games.
I'd say New Leaf or New Horizons. I mean, they're both really good games.
Do they all start with a new?
New Leaf was the only one that it started, and then I mean the other two are like City Folk and Wild World. So.
Oh, City Folk is also really good. I hear. It's Animal Crossing.
Probably just
you make stuff. You get harassed by a landlord.
I could go on and on.
Let's talk about who
I could go on and on about my
Animal
favorite
Crossing character. Nah, I'm joking. Moving on is Mega Man. Yikes! Another series I haven't played that much of. Oh gosh, man, my indie bias is showing. I know a ton of indie games, but I barely know most of the Smash series. So for the Mega Man series, I'm sorry, it's obviously the best game. Mighty Number 9 is such a good spin-off of the Mega Man series.
Shut up! I've been talking about.
Okay, Mega Man 2 is seen as one of the best Mega Man games of all time. There's a lot like Mega Man X, first Mega Man, which is crazy. I never heard people say that one is the best, but that's one I liked a lot. But what do you say, guys? What do y'all have about the Mega Man series?
I was never book smart. I was always like money smart.
Does it make you more intelligent?
It does make you more intelligent, but I'd have to say probably Mega Man 2. I mean, I will say
it has the most expansion.
Mighty Number 9 is my least favorite game of all time, and I don't think that'll ever be topped. That is a horrible game.
Oh my gosh. Yo, okay, that's crazy. I don't really have a lot of games I hate virulently, and that's because I just don't consume media I know I won't like. Like, I've never played Sonic 06 because I know I wouldn't like it.
I said neither do I. It's just that game is so horrendously bad that I despise it.
It makes you mad like an anime fan going the wrong night. Okay, I'll stop. Oh my gosh. Any harsh opinions on the Mega Man series, David?
I'd say call me Mr. Rock Festival, for I have hella bands.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't played a single Mega Man game. I've heard the consensuses too, so I can't really argue.
Yeah, it has a lot of unique gameplay elements, adds the most power-ups. The progression system, where you get to choose the level you go to, is super cool and unique, with every level design taking the approach of make it super easy in the beginning, but then they progressively get harder towards the end. Really innovative, really creative, makes the game stand out more, and yeah, I just like the Mega Man series, like, character design. I think the robots look really sick. But really, really hard game franchises if you're looking into getting into the more classic retro games. Yeah, not much to say there. I'm borderline I'm threatening to skip this one, like, just because. I mean, what do we say?
I'd say Wii Fit.
Wii Fit Plus is probably the best.
I didn't even know there was a plus.
There's more. There's multiple.
Yeah, Wii Fit Plus adds so much to the original game. I mean, it is.
Dude, the storyline.
Actually, this looks not that bad. Wait, what? This doesn't actually look that bad. The art style. Oh, you play with Mii's. Is this the dojo? Is this racist? Okay, I'll move on. Yeah, Wii Fit series.
Next series.
Any hardcore Wii Fit fans out there, y'all let us know in the comments. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm grasping for air here. It's crazy how much. I didn't even know there were multiple games in the series. Yeah, let's just move on. This is boring. The Punch-Out series. So, really, anything other than the Wii version, you're a contrarian, just saying. Punch-Out the Wii, the last one that came out, like, over a decade ago. Again, Nintendo, I know y'all really hate your franchises, but y'all have so much, like, cheese. Before I start going on tangent, what do y'all have to say about the Punch-Out series? If y'all actually know anything.
Punch-Out Rainbow Island.
Okay, so Punch-Out the Wii version. I'll stop. I'll stop.
You know, I don't even remember what my favorite Punch-Out game was.
Probably the Wii version. I haven't even played the Wii version. I just know it's the best. The Wii version has so much charm and personality. Each one of the characters is just like so unique, despite the obvious stereotypes they're based off of. Seriously, this game has so much stereotyping, it's insane. I'm surprised no one's called it out. But like the gameplay is super arcade-like, with every opponent being super tough at a certain point, especially when you try to speedrun this game. Watching people speedrun Punch-Out Wii version is so fun. It's so cool. Like, it has so much charm, personality into it. It's, even despite it being like a Wii game that's over a decade old, I still say this is the best in the franchise. Arcade games, pretty, like, it's pretty alright, the arcade series, but it still has some of those arcade elements into a game. But yeah, just overall, really charming game franchise, really charming game, really cool. Not much to say there. Any harsh opinions about it, David?
Yeah, Wii boxing is pretty cool.
Alright, and that's about as much as we can say. Let's move on. The next series is representing the Miis from Smash Bros. And for this one, I just chose Wii Resort. Mostly because Wii Resort is actually a pretty good game. It doesn't even feel like a tech demo, like it probably isn't one. Yeah, Wii Resort, it's just like Wii Sports, but let's make everything better and cooler. It does require a Wii Motion Plus, but if you acquire one, man, this game is so fun to play with all the mini games, all of the actually good motion controls that this game has, and all the personality it has. It just makes for a really enjoyable experience. Have y'all played it?
I have a confession, I have not, and I've been on the hunt for this game.
Yeah, you're not finding it in stores. You're not finding it in stores.
I actually found it a few days ago.
Oh,
but I'm not spending $30 on it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So.
It's either you can't find it, or it's like $1 bajillion. It's pretty insane.
I was so close to getting it when it was $30. If it was 25, I would have, but 30, I don't know.
I have to say my favorite me game is Nintendo Land.
Oh, I forgot. That's also pretty good. Nintendo Land is pretty good. What would you say is your like favorite game in that game?
That's maybe the Luigi's Mansion one or the like Mario one.
Not the F-Zero one. The only F-Zero game to come out in like.
Oh, maybe the Pikmin one, the Zelda one, and the Metroid one are really good too, though.
I only know 4 of them, but yeah, no hard series about the Mii series of games. Pretty unique game series. Ah, here it is, finally, the ski version. Look at that. So fun. Especially when we get to the ramps. Alright, let's move on. Alright, the next series on this list is Pac-Man. Oh boy, this one, I think we could just say anything and people won't get too mad about the pick on this list. I keep hearing everywhere that Miss Pac-Man is the best game in the series, but all Miss Pac-Man is just the original game, but it's like new levels and faster pace. While Pac-Man World is like a proper video game. Like it has mini games, it has alternate playstyles. It's a proper game. I think there was a party Pac-Man game that I remember fondly, but no serious no serious opinions about this series either. Man, a lot of those.
I mean,
my favorite is the party game. You go ahead.
You said what?
You finish.
No, I'm just done. Pac-Man World is my choice for this, but it could be anything.
Yeah. My favorite is the party game, Pac-Man Party, which is
Oh, Pac-Man Party is like amazing. Yeah, Pac-Man Party is amazing.
Definitely my favorite. I have it in my room here somewhere. For the Wii, it was definitely my favorite. It was the first to. I think it was sort of the first to give like personality to the different ghosts.
It's based off of the TV show, the very awful TV show.
Well, I don't know. It's probably my favorite Pac-Man game. Yeah,
man, they look so adorable. Yeah, any hardcore Pac-Man fans out there, come roast us in the comment section. This video is gonna be.
I've got to say.
Oh, yeah, David.
I've got to say, the one that reminds me that the Pac is back. Where ghosts are chomping on his feet, Pacs are here.
Next series. Ooh, finally a fun one again. Xenoblade Chronicles. Watch everyone exterminate. Okay, before I say anything, can we just say how Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is one of the worst RPGs of all time?
I will say this is probably the easiest. This is probably the easiest because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is such a terrible game.
Yeah,
it should
bro,
never
it's
even
so bad. Like,
I've
okay,
heard some
the
really
character-
good things about it.
No, it's so first of all, the character, it's, imagine the worst archetypes in anime, and every character is just one of them.
Oh, I know the writing is awful. I've seen one of the cutscenes. I know the writing's awful, but I've heard the gameplay.
It's not only awful. The first game was so mature with intelligent storytelling, characters that like cared about everything. If Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was the first in the series, it would not have been beloved. It's just anime tropes. The game, literally every female character in the game has the most over-sexualized design ever put to man, and it's so obnoxious. It's incredible how bad it is. The art style looks appealing, and that's about it. Literally, one of the cutscenes is one of the girls asking, "Yes, master, how can I be a better servant to you?" Like, what?
I was gonna say, the Furby has he turns the robot girl into a sex slave.
Okay, but let's actually talk about the best game in the series. I'd say the first one, but that's because it's the only one I played. The third one is probably what people think is the best. And we don't talk about X.
I would say 1.
We don't talk about X. I know 3 is what people probably want to say, but the first game, Shulk is one of the best like RPG protagonists, period. I like his growth, how he comes to terms. He's like a twist on the Chosen One, where unlike most like main characters, he's actually really intelligent, smart, and he lets that guide him through the missions. Dunban is a really compelling character. Ryan is another stereotype character that's actually really compelling, with him being the meathead of the team and not being made fun of for it, but instead is really admirated. Melia?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
One of the most tragic characters in the entire game. Basically, she sees her whole race of people get turned into the villains that serve the bad guy. Her sister tries to kill her because she's a half-blood, and, they don't like half-bloods because, racism. But, like, it's just, the story is so good. You should really play it, David, if you haven't. Yeah, really compelling characters, really amazing story. One of the best stories in gaming, in my opinion. Just, yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 1, masterpiece. Shulk is a good character. Play him in Smash Bros. Duck Hunt! Oh my goodness, bro. Another game series. Really hard to choose what the best game in this series is. Like, do y'all have any ideas on what we should choose for Duck Hunt?
Yeah, I'd say Super Smash Bros. 4 was a pretty good one.
What? Oh, I get it. Haha, because you only know the series because of that. Yeah, that is true. Duck Hunt is borderline like a R.O.B toy before it's a video game first. It was just made to sell the gun that is probably not really useful, all that things considered. You just shoot frisbees. It doesn't even look like that engaging with the game. It looks pretty buggy at times. It's fine. It's Duck Hunt. What do you want us to say about it? You have any harsh opinions on Duck Hunt, Anthony?
I hate Duck Hunt. I mean, I'm gonna kill that stupid dog.
All right, that's good.
No, I'm joking. I will say it's not exact, but Duck Season, the VR game.
That is not a Nintendo game.
Really,
that is not a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
It's real. Trust me.
If we counted fan games, oh my goodness, that would be another fun video. The best fan game from every.
Mario in the music box.
Well, probably Sonic PO6 would be the winner of Sonic, but we're not doing that video yet.
Banny for that.
Alright, next one is Street Fighter. I really, really wish I could say something about this series, but I've only played Street Fighter in the 3DS, and I thought it was cool. The fighting system was good. I like all the ultimate attacks, but Street Fighter 6 is obviously going to be the winner of this. Like, come on, it's the latest game in the franchise.
Yeah. Instead, I'll talk about my favorite characters, G and Q.
Chun-Li? Oh,
Very cool.
Yeah, definitely not.
G and Q. They're pretty cool characters, very mysterious too.
My favorite character is Chun-Li for obvious reason. I can't, so I'll stop being I'll behave. Alright, what do you have to say about the Street Fighter series?
I haven't played it.
Oh, gosh, the graphics look so good. Yeah, so Street Fighter 6, the graphics look amazing. The gameplay is
6 looks amazing, yeah.
I haven't played Street Fighter series because I was a kiddie growing up, and my parents didn't allow me to play anything that had even remotely sexualized characters. Sorry I had to know about my trauma. This has been my TED Talk. Okay, let's move on. So, Kingdom Hearts before it came out. Okay, I'll stop. So, I know this is going to sound extremely basic, but Final Fantasy VII it's the best game in the series, in my opinion. I like Final Fantasy VII.
We say the original or the remake?
So I only played the original. That's the only reason why I say 7. It's because it's the only one I played. But what do you have to say, Anthony?
Foolish flexing. The best game in the series is World of Final Fantasy.
That sounds like a mobile game, and I'm not gonna even bother to like see
No,
it.
no, it's so good. It is actually so. It's almost. It's kind of. It's a monster collector. So it's a monster collector type, and so you collect these monsters
going on the list,
and
by
then
the
you
way.
stack
This
them.
is a crazy take, but it's not going on the list.
I'm just gonna say, it has Sora Kingdom Hearts in it.
The chibi art style? Oh yeah.
Oh hell
Yeah.
no.
Okay, so you have 3 different sizes. You have large, medium, and small. And then each monster and you and your chibi form and your big form are one of these sizes, and you stack 3 people. And then that's how you make your team. And then you can get these medals, which you can summon all the different heroes of Final Fantasy to fight, and do this one big super move. And it's got a really good story that was compelling and mysterious. And I mean, it's just my favorite.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII, story is a masterpiece. The Sephiroth, really good villain, even though all the memes and stuff like that. Cloud is a hilarious protagonist, with him being, again, subversion of the Chosen One trope, with him just being like a dude who thinks he's the Chosen One. It's really good, really compelling.
So, sorry.
What were you gonna say?
So I've only played a few hours of 7, the original, and I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. It's outdated. That's why there's a remake.
Yeah,
I want to play the
it
remake.
is outdated, I'm not gonna say, but it's something charming about outdated RPGs, even though I just complained about Pokemon for like 5 minutes. But yeah, not much here. I'm gonna put as the actual best one the most recent Final Fantasy game, just because I don't want to upset like people watching this. But my
16?
personal, wait, no,
I've heard so much.
no, not that
I've
one,
heard
not that one.
Okay. I heard that was really controversial.
I think 13 is the best one. 14.
My online friend wants me to play 14 a ton. 14's an MMO,
actually,
I
this
think.
is a really controversial. This isn't an objective answer. This is actually a really contentious one. They say Final Fantasy 6 is the most groundbreaking. 7 is the one that everyone likes, like groundbreaking. 8 was the one I recommend to everyone, and 9 is 9. There's just a ton in the franchise. I don't really know the other ones. I just know
Final
7. Yeah, I'm just gonna go Final Fantasy. The best one is whatever one you want it to be, guys. Let's move on. Bayonetta. Oh, so here's the thing. I've only played the first one. I've seen 2, and I only know about 3 because of the controversy. So that's pretty interesting. What do you have to say? I know, Anthony, you're the most enthusiastic about this franchise, so I'll let you talk first.
I don't even know. I feel like
They all have such different.
when I think of the games, I kind of lump them together because, I mean, the gameplay in them is pretty much the same. In a very good way, though. I mean, it's not broke, so don't fix it. The music is amazing. I love Moon River in the second game, and then Mysterious Destiny in the first. And that is a very good main character. I love what's his? I want to say Lorenzo, but I know that's not it. The New Yorker guy.
I forgot his name too. He's hilarious.
He's really good.
Bayonetta is like over the top. I like the over the top and hilarious cutscenes. Like, it knows what it's doing, and it's hilariously so. Like, oh my gosh, I think there's one scene where like she catches something in midair while shooting with her guns. I'll have to pull it up, but like there's just so many iconic cutscenes in this game that are hilarious. The highway scene from the first one where you're on a motorcycle. Oh my gosh, that mission was so fun. David.
Yeah, I haven't played Bayonetta either.
Wow, it seems like you need to broaden your horizon now, Jordan. Yeah,
Bayonetta Origins has a really cool art style.
Wait, that's an actual thing?
Well, yeah, if you actually broaden your horizons and played a few games, you'd know.
Bro, I didn't even know this game existed! What? Okay, Bayonetta is one of the very few games where all 3 games in the series could be seen as like the best. It's pretty hilarious. Splatoon! Ooh, boy. Okay, so this is one, David, you finally get to shed your wings. So Splatoon 3 is obviously the pick for this one, but I'm curious on your hot takes.
So I am going to say Splatoon 3 is actually a controversial. I think the most widely accepted is Splatoon 2, but I have to disagree.
I do not think Splatoon 2 is good.
Huh?
Not that it's a bad game, but I don't think it's like... Splatoon 1 was my introduction to the series, and that one has always been like fan favorite. It just had such a cool concept for a Nintendo franchise. It was the first time they made a new IP in a while, and 3 just improves upon that original concept. The story...
I missed out on 2.
Oh,
I'm one, sorry.
2 had a lot of controversy, but not a lot of controversy. It had some like issues that I agreed with, some I didn't like. Salmon Run.
Salmon Run was really good, but it was like a side mode.
I didn't like how you had to wait every day for a new one to come out. That was kind of a little lame.
Well, in 3, I don't remember how this is in 2, but you're really rewarded for playing like the same map multiple times. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't do it. But there's a lot of... First of all, I'm going to say Splatoon 3's campaign is amazing, and it went really hard.
Splatoon 2's campaign, right?
No, 2's is mid.
Oh, 3. You said 3's campaign.
Yeah, 3's campaign is amazing.
I haven't
2's DLC campaign is pretty good. Actually, it's really good, sorry.
Yeah.
2's DLC campaign is amazing. But I'd say 3's campaign is just as good, and I'm so excited for Side Order. The gameplay itself, I know, like the multiplayer, people really fight over it, but I don't know. I find myself enjoying it, and I really enjoy the Stranger class of weapons they introduced. I don't like the regular bow, but the reflex is one that I to use if I ever attempt.
Bucket's still my favorite.
And I just love the presentation. I feel like this is the most Splatoon game. I love customizing your locker. That's really cool.
The art style is amazing.
It is. There's one.
Sorry, you can.
But yeah.
Anthony.
But yeah,
I wanted to get Anthony. That's why I just.
People fight
I'm not
over
a fan
the
of
game.
Splatoon.
Oh.
You go.
That's their rhythm. I'm just not a fan of the
Oh, you're
series.
not a fan? That's probably the hottest take in this entire video.
People fight over 3's gameplay a lot. And honestly, the biggest thing I'd say is connection, because the way it's set up is really stupid, and they should fix that for the next century. But, and people hate the maps, but I think they're fine, just some are kinda lame.
It's crazy.
But otherwise, yeah, 3's amazing.
I was just saying, it's crazy how this franchise became like a flagship series for Nintendo. This new one, that's so rare.
It's like when you try and have heart and soul and passion, it might be good.
Yeah, I know. Unlike the next one on this list. Oh, dang it! ARMS isn't the next one on this list. Can we pretend like it is so that the joke works? ARMS. Woo! I actually played. Did y'all play this game?
Yes.
Oh, I played it too. It came out. I think it came out for free. No, it wasn't for free. It was like a free, like a time period where you can play. Yeah, a time period where you could play it as much as you wanted for like a set period of time. You gotta say, its combat system is as basic as it looks. There is no mechanical depth to this, not even the slightest. You just grab them when they're shielding, and you try to hope that your punches hit them, and you kind of just throw it randomly. The mini games with like the basketball and stuff like that were decent enough, and the storyline is pretty fun. I like the character designs a lot in this game, but overall, it's just a very mid-fighting game. It feels like it's missing something, if that makes sense.
Exactly. It's fun, but it's mid. I gotta say, the sequel Legs was pretty good.
That definitely came out. Yeah, that's definitely a game that came out. And Nintendo definitely didn't just
Yeah,
abandon the series.
ARMS 2 Legs was pretty fun. Can't wait for ARMS 3 Thighs to come out.
That's what they wish. Oh my gosh. What about you, Anthony?
I mean, it's a basic game.
It's a tech game more than a game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Min Min is the one that everybody was so...
Because she's attractive girl, internet, yeah.
She's under 18.
What? That's amazing. Wait, is she actually under 18, or did you just make that up?
I think she's 16.
Doesn't matter. Spring Boy should have been in the game. From the get-go, wasting a DLC slot on an ARMS character was atrocious.
Oh no, she's 18.
Alright, let's move on before any more audience members get excited. Castlevania. This one's another obvious pick. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is like the most it's the most Metroidvania out there. Everyone says Symphony of the Night is the best game in the series. I haven't played any Castlevania game, but I've seen the story and like the gameplay, and man, the voice acting is hilarious. But the gameplay is amazing. There's not much that I can say there. I just know Symphony of the Night is an amazing game by other people's standards. I don't like Metroidvanias, as I said before. Is this a speedrun?
I haven't played too many of them, but I mean, yeah, Symphony of the Night is pretty good. I mean, yeah, they're called Metroidvanias because of Metroid and Castlevania.
Oh, that's
Castlevania?
actually where the second half of Metroidvania comes from. That's crazy.
You didn't know?
Yeah, I'm very smart, guys. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this game set the stage for all games to come after. Hollow Knight, I was gonna say Amori, what the heck? What was it called? Pizza Tower, I think is inspired by this game a little bit. Just every like indie platformer you've seen, every indie platformer you've seen is inspired by this game from one aspect or another. It's the game. It's the platforming game. Like it's iconic. I know nothing much about it though. Characters are really funny. That's all I know about it. Sorry guys. I know for a lot of these series we're kind of just going like, yay, this game is the most iconic, therefore the best. I know a bunch of hardcore fans are probably gonna be like, you missed so much about this series, but I can't. There's too many video games to play. The Persona series.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't even need to say it. Y'all see my channel colors. Y'all seen my channel description. It's my favorite game of all time. Persona 5 is a masterpiece. It's the best Persona series, specifically Persona 5 Royale. The characters in the game is amazing. The story is amazing, except for some segments. The art style and style of this game series is like, it should be put in a museum. This game has the best art style of all time. Like, I just love the flair and stylishness that this game has. The music is my favorite soundtrack of all time. What's some other things? The Confidence is a brilliant system to give your combat more depth and nuance while also getting connected with people. The dynamic between your real life, where you have to talk to people and form relationships, contrast it with the metaverse where you get to fight enemies in the classic JRPG style. It's brilliant. I don't really have much to say. Like, it's Persona 5. Obviously, it's the best game in the series. Although, I know some people would argue that 3 or 4 is. Do you want to vouch for them, Anthony?
I will say, so Persona 1 is probably the worst game.
Obviously, it's the first game in the series.
Persona 2, I love Persona 2's story.
Is that Innocent Sin?
Game.
Is that Innocent Sin?
Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment.
Oh, okay.
3 also has an amazing story.
All of them have amazing stories. Like, that's a given.
Well, no, I love the ending. Persona 4, Persona 4 and Persona 5. The stories definitely drop.
What?
Persona 5 Royale has amazing. Persona 5 has probably some of the best combat. Well, I'd say the second
Persona 5 Royale has
JRPG.
Marucci, one of the best villains in the game.
Maruki is his name.
Marucci. I said Marucci. Jesus
let's see. So, Persona 3 has amazing story, but I really dislike the gameplay.
I can't wait for the remake to come out. I'm getting that remake.
Yeah, that's gonna probably fix a bunch of my issues with it. It has amazing social links. I mean, there's so many of them that I just remember. Persona 5, the story's definitely a bit worse, but the gameplay definitely more than makes up for it, and there's amazing.
Okay, I'll stop.
Compared to 3,
I think
there's
Persona
amazing
5's story is better than 3, but that's just my opinion.
I love the confidants. There's so many that I remember. Persona 4 is where the story kind of becomes. I mean, the story was a bit muddled, I feel, and not as good. And then the gameplay also suffers from 3's issues. It's not.
I will say
it's not that good.
Persona 4's Persona 4's antagonist, Adachi, is hilarious. I like him.
I love Adachi. And also, I was trying to think, and there's not many social links from 4 that I really remember that really stuck with me like they did from 5 and 3. I will say, it's a spin-off of SMT. The recent game SMTV has the best even better than Persona 5's gameplay in a JRPG I've ever played.
Wow.
I loved that game so much. Yeah, the gameplay in it is it's even better than 5's.
Persona 5 has the most sales out of any of the games, by the way.
Persona 5 Royale, I'd say, is probably...
I haven't played Persona 5 Persona 5 Strikers. I need to play it.
It's fun. It's different.
David, sorry we've been talking over you. Did you play any Persona games?
I have not. Before you make fun of me, 3 is one of my best friends' favorite game of all time. Period.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. The opening for Persona 3 is my favorite opening.
5, I really want to play 5. I mean, I can't play every game. That's why I know I will play some of these games that I've said I really want to.
Yeah, I gotta play Metal Gear. I gotta play a Metal Gear game.
But yeah, 5, it looks incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I based my whole channel around the channel aesthetics.
I was close to buying it once, but
yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't have $40 to cough up.
40, it used to be 60 at launch. Alright, we only have about 7 more series to go. Another series I don't have any strong opinions about, Dragon Quest. It's the RPG. Like, Dragon Quest is the RPG. And Dragon Quest 11 is probably the best in the franchise because it's just the most recent one. It looks gorgeous, but again, series I know nothing about.
I played Dragon Quest 11. I don't know, I couldn't really get into it. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't... I felt like it was super hard. Like, I was like stuck on one of the bosses, and it's a pretty early boss too.
Jeez.
I don't know. I couldn't really get into the combat. I don't know. Maybe it gets good later on, but I do know it suffers from JRPG-itis, where you have to keep on grinding and grinding and grinding.
That thing that's outdated.
Which, might go back to it one of these days, but
very anime-looking game.
I don't know. Yeah. I believe it's made by the same, like the art design is by Dragon Ball.
Yeah, very obvious. It very much looks like Dragon Ball. I will say I've heard this game in the context compared to Persona 5, which is very hilarious. People were saying which is the better game, Persona 5 or Dragon Quest 11. You already know what my pick is, obviously. Even though I haven't played this game. What about you, David? You play Dragon Quest? Any games?
Another one that is one I'd want to play, 11. But I gotta say the one where you kill the slimes is pretty fun.
I feel like I'm being disrespectful with this series. I don't know. It just feels weird how most of the series so far we've been like, we haven't really played much, but we know this game's iconic. It feels kind of bad. But y'all have that feeling or no?
I think it's fun.
About not knowing much about these game series, except for the surface.
I mean, if
stuff.
you don't know, then that's your opinion.
Yeah, but I feel like I could have done more research. I could have done more research, is what I'm saying. Like the next one, Banjo-Kazooie. Hadn't played this game.
I played like an hour or two of it. I liked it.
Very much Mario 64-like. That's the most I can say about it. There's only one game.
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is the greatest game.
Oh, there is other ones? There's other ones?
There's a GBA one.
Oh, okay. So, 1 is probably the best, 2 is not as good, and then Nuts and Bolts is the most recent, and it's actually really...
It has the art style people don't like, so I'm assuming you're trolling.
Yeah, no. Nuts and Bolts isn't very widely liked.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
so I was gonna say, it looks like the one people hate.
Imagine Banjo-Kazooie if he was in a car.
Then it would be Carjo and Kazooie. Yeah, see, this is what happens when we have nothing to talk about. This is what happens when we have nothing to talk about, guys.
Here's the game.
You said what?
Yo,
Here's
it's
the
a stream I'm
Kingdom is
missing in the
basically
corner.
Bolts.
The platforming looks really polished. I literally have nothing to say. I haven't played the game.
It's fun.
Oh my gosh. Alright, let's...
I just can't stand the noises they make when they're talking in cutscenes.
Oh, very cartoony.
I love
And then the fucking, every time you you get off of the first game, it makes you think you lost the game because you're getting off. So, every time you get a game over every time you leave the game, genuinely. And then,
That is very insane.
That game over cutscene is wild because I'm pretty sure that was a few children's away.
Like awakening to what?
Don't look up Gruntilda in the cutscene.
Wait, does she do some weird? Okay, let's move on. Oh come on! The last 3 series I know nothing about. Okay.
I'm not Mexican, so I don't have much to say.
That seems racist, but whatever. Fatal Fury. So I actually did some research on this series. So Fatal Fury Special is what people consider the best. Yeah, it's basically the one that introduced all of the characters and stuff like that. I only know Terry Bogard and the hot lady that Sakurai didn't want to put in the game. Very much a Street Fighter-like game. It literally looks like Street Fighter, but like a spin-off. I know that's really offensive to people who actually play the game, but like, again, another game I know absolutely nothing about. Very fun. This is why I said I should do more research.
It's tough because it's kind of like Street Fighter. It's like, you know, it's definitely, it's sort of, you know, like you had Mortal Kombat, and then you had Street Fighter, you had Fatal Fury, King of Fighters. They're all just kind of similar.
Yeah, they blend into
Tekken 2.
They all have their own storyline.
I feel like Fatal Fury is kind of it's been definitely like overshadowed by Tekken and Street Fighter. It's like the sort of lesser.
Oh wow! Speaking of Tekken, yeah, guys, y'all ready for another one that we haven't seen before? Tekken 7 is the one I chose for this list. Based off of what I've seen, Tekken 7 is one of the most recent ones. I think it is the most recent one. Yeah, a year ago. Art style looks good. Another fighting game. I will give it props. Tekken is the only 3D fighting game besides like Pokken Tournament, which is also just Tekken, that I've seen.
Mortal Kombat.
Very rarely. Wait, Mortal Kombat's 3D?
Yeah.
No, 3D as in you move in a 3D perspective, not 3D graphics.
Oh.
No.
Do you know anything about Tekken, Crane?
Yeah, Pokken, it wasn't my favorite.
That's not... No. That's not Tekken. That's a spin-off. Is that a spin-off of Pokemon or a spin-off of Tekken? That's the real question.
It's all of the above.
It's just a combination of the two.
Yeah. I didn't like it that much, though.
It looks like a more serious story, more serious fighting game story than most of the other games.
Tekken is probably the well, I don't know. It's you say it's the most serious, but then it has characters like a literal bear.
Every fighting game has a cat character.
Well, but then there's also King, who is a guy with a leopard mask.
That could be serious.
There's just a bunch of like silly characters. Yeah, but it's good. I'd say probably 7. 7 is the newest one. And yeah, it's definitely the best.
Man, my range of games, or mainline games, is showing here. But luckily, the next 2 games are pretty... So the last 2...
Minecraft, or...?
Yeah, so last 2 are Minecraft and Kingdom Hearts. We'll start with Minecraft. Minecraft, in my opinion, is the most overrated game of all time. I played this game. This is a game I actually played, by the way. I played it on the Switch for like maybe 20 hours. Got bored instantly. Like even when I played with friends, like I did all the not the mods because I didn't have it on PC. I did my friend stuff. I tried building stuff in the world. Tried to reach Netherland. That didn't work, obviously, because I'm not passionate about the game. It's just you just build stuff. It's an endless game where you just do whatever you want, and I don't like games where you just do whatever you want. I want a goal, linear experience, a story, and I know Minecraft does have a story mode, but like I just never saw the appeal of it. I don't know why this game is so. I don't know why this is just such a popular hit. I don't know why it's so insanely popular. I mean, I see why it's so insanely popular, but like I don't think it deserves that. Like,
I definitely agree. It's the most like sold game ever, but well, not ever, but
it actually is. I think. Yeah, I think it's the most sold game of all time. Minecraft sale.
Tetris.
Oh yeah, Tetris. My bad. Tetris. 300
million.
million.
Like, definitely overrated.
300 million.
I feel like it's. I feel like people equate like mods and stuff. Like they'll equate it to the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kind of. People are like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good. Get this mod." I'm like, "What? If you have to mod the base game to make it like really fun, wouldn't that imply that the base game itself is not all that spectacular?" But no, the mod counts as part of the gaming experience, which is fair, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely just not my type of game exactly.
I know you played it,
but
David.
it can definitely be. It can definitely be fun.
With friends.
I like Terraria.
I would only play it with friends, and that's only for the communal aspect, not for like gameplay. What do you have to say? Oh,
really fun.
What do you have to say, David?
I love Minecraft. Yeah, I've been playing it on and off since it got popular in like 2012. Beat the game for the first time a year ago, like just about a year ago. And I know there's been a bunch of issues with the community and stuff.
Dream,
but
I'm joking.
Okay.
Okay, and that leaves
Minecraft. Yeah, I love Minecraft.
That leaves us with the final game in the game series. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything for this segment. I'm just gonna let y'all two go off. Kingdom Hearts. What is the best Kingdom Hearts game?
Easy. It's 2. It's 2.
Alright, explain
It's
why it's
2.
not 3.
Dude, everyone hates 3 on the internet. Look up Kingdom Hearts 3 on YouTube. There's a 7-hour video. Kingdom Hearts 3 is a waste of development.
What? Wait, is that real? I think you told me about this actually.
Yes.
3, not that bad, I'd say.
No, I like 3.
But,
oh my goodness,
yeah,
I'm saving that to watch later.
But 2 is definitely better. I mean, 2 has, I love, there's these different forms that you can unlock and activate. They were just such a fun aspect. I mean, I would go back and forth throughout the worlds, just like doing a bunch of different stuff. There's these like these sort of like triangle moves that were like sort of super moves. I loved them. It's so much better than any of the others. 1 was good, but I mean, they just don't like handle it too.
All I know is that the story has Mickey Mouse in it, taking his shirt off. I know all the memes. I know all the memes.
Dies.
Why is there Sephiroth in this game? I know nothing about Kingdom Hearts, by the way. This is hilarious to me. You can go.
Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1 had a charm in that it tried to be every genre of video at once.
What?
But so it was like a platformer plus a puzzler plus mostly a combat action adventure.
RPG?
And it was fine. It worked.
RPG?
A combat RPG action adventure. That's what it primarily is.
Oh,
but it also tried to be a platformer. It also tried to be a... And it didn't entirely succeed, but it still is a pretty freaking good game, especially for their first attempt. And 2, it just fine-tunes everything. The story is really good.
Wow, that's actually a hot take. I hear people say Kingdom Hearts story is convoluted, plot hole mess.
So I didn't play the games. I watched a 30-minute YouTube video, and it makes sense. Also, I know Mickey Mouse is in it, and I don't like ew. That sums up most of the Kingdom Hearts haters.
Okay. I don't hate the game series, by the way. I just don't know anything about it.
Fight me in the comments if you want to, by the way. I don't care.
This is my channel. They're gonna fight me. What are you talking about?
They better tag at Crane, and I'll fight them.
I just lose my subscriber count overnight. Like, it just drains to 0 instantly.
But yeah, Kingdom Hearts is far from perfect. Like,
if they do,
as much as I like a lot of Kingdom Hearts, I will talk about how much I hate Dream Drop Distance, but that's a different video.
You can make it on your channel. By the way, each of the people with me have social media links. I'll put them in the description. Crane has his channel right here. I'll put it on the screen. And yeah, this has been a fun video topic. The reason I made it is just to close out the year of 2023. 2023 saw a resurgence in gaming. It had some of the best games to come out in a while also being a tragic year for gaming in terms of developers suffering, a bunch of mid games coming out. One was a literal scam. And I just wanted to go back over some of the classics, reason why we play video games, some of the reasons that get us into video games, the best video games. And this video was covering the best video games in every Smash Bros. Series, a series in and of itself that has become iconic and synonymous with representation of gaming. To close out this video, y'all want to give your favorite Smash Bros. Video game?
Brawl. Definitely Brawl.
For me,
yeah.
All Smash Bros. Games are my favorite. Now, I know that's a cop-out, but here's my hot take.
Oh, what a cop-out,
Every
dude.
Smash Bros. Game has an aspect. Every Smash Bros. Game has an aspect of it I like. Smash Bros. Brawl has horrible like physics and competitive gaming, but has an amazing story in Subspace Emissary, and the music for Brawl is simply like the best OST. Smash Bros. 4 has horrible single player content, but the best competitive physics in my opinion. Smash Bros. Ultimate has the best roster, obviously. It has the best graphics, and Smash Melee, it has the most memes. That's just all I'll say. No, seriously, Smash Melee has cool single player content as well. I like how broken the game is, despite it being still amazing to play. Like the glitches and stuff you can do. I'm a competitive Smash Bros. Player mainly, so I'm coming from that perspective. But yeah, for my pick, if I had to choose one, I would have to go with Ultimate as the best one. One, because it's the one I played by far the most, but also because, like I said before, I put gameplay above all else. It can have amazing story, it can have amazing music, but if it's not the gameplay that's there, I have to put it down some tiers. And that's it for me. What do y'all have to say?
I mean, it's got to be Brawl. Brawl is the one that,